Showtime Generals, Carter and Jackson back together for this Tuesday, March 12th edition of the 5-Star News. How's it going, Jackson?
It's been going good. Let's get on with the show and start everyone off with some important school announcements.
Okay, here's 5-Star News reporters Emily Dameron, Ava Phillips, and Rory Pepper with their report.
Thanks for that lovely introduction, guys. My name is Rory, and this is Ava, and we have a few big announcements for you today.
So let's hop right on into it.
Get excited, you guys. No school for students Friday due to Teachers in Service Day. Enjoy your 4-day weekend.
Seniors, many colleges are waiving their application fees in March, so now's the time to apply for college.
If you want to be entertained, we have 2 home games for soccer against Norville tonight. The girls play first at 5:30, and the boys play afterwards at 7:30. Be there or be square.
Get excited because we're going right on over to Roy for the 4-day weather forecast.
Thanks, Ava. Yes, let's wade right into the 4-day weather forecast. This week is going to be a warmer week, with Tuesday being sunny with a high 69 and a low 40. Wednesday, it will also be sunny with a high 75 and a low 47. Thursday, it will be our hottest day with a high of 77 and a low of 57. And Friday, there will be thunderstorms with a high of 70 and a low of 55. Grab your sunscreen and get to tanning. Now let's move on to Jackson and Carter for more news.
Thanks, you guys. Good to see some warmer weather heading our way.
Sure is. Glad for that, and some drier days coming as well.
Yep, and to the news now. And students in Officer Edwards' public safety classes had a very busy past few weeks, Carter.
They sure did. We highlighted their emergency traffic stop training, and last week their instructions dealt with some fire training.
So with some help of the Catoosa County Fire Department, Edwards' classes had the opportunity to go through a smoke maze.
Here's 5-Star News reporters David Butler and Parker Scott with more.
So we had the fire department come in, some of the advisors from the Explorers program, and they set up a smoke maze out in one of the field houses where they run.
So pretty much branching off what he said, we put a lot of people in the smoke maze. It's a pretty cool little thing we get to do every year. I'm an explorer with the Catoosa County Fire Department, and we help set this up. It's fun watching all the people's faces, watching them cough, getting that feeling of the artificial smoke.
So yeah, we had a fantastic time doing the smoke maze, and I thought it was a really good experience. Seriously considering being a firefighter, and it was something that was really helpful for me because it kind of provided some hands-on experience, and it was easy.
Students had to put on full turnout gear that the firefighters would wear on scene in an active fire, and they had to find their way through the smoke maze, identifying victims as they come across them, make sure they're not being impeded by any of the obstacles, and then finding their way to the other side of the building to the open door.
Having a good time all around, lots of laughs.
It was easy in some ways and hard in others. I ran headfirst into a door because we couldn't see really where we were going, but you just kind of you've got to know going into that situation you're not going to be able to see. You've got a hose to follow, and you've got to go in there and find somebody. We had victims set up and obstacles in the way of the hose. It was tangled in a lot of places, so you really just kind of had to find your way through it. It was great exposure.
It's a good way to expose them to some of the challenges that firefighters face when they are dealing with an active fire. And it's a fun time, and all the students seem like they really enjoyed it.
Now it looked very challenging.
Sure did. Keep up the great work, Officer Edwards.
Now shifting some great news provided by several of HHS's literary team.
Yes, Coach Troball's students were taking part in their region competition this past weekend, and they actually fared quite well, Jackson.
Yes, they did. Several brought home first-place titles, qualifying them for their state meet. Let's find out more in this report by 5-Star News reporters Owen Bryant, Brody Morrison, and Carter.
Well, we traveled to Carrollton, Georgia for the region literary competition on Friday. It went very well for us. We finished second as a team in the team competition, and you can think of it like track. So each individual activity earns points. You get 7 points for first place, 5 points for second place, 3 points for third place, and 1 point for fourth place. And then the team with the most number of points at the end wins. And so we finished second in the team competition, which we're very pleased with. Obviously, we'd like to win, but we are happy to bring home second place as well. We had 4 individual events win the region championship: trio, quartet, international extemporaneous speaking and dramatic interpretation.
So I won first place. This is my second time winning first place at regionals. Last year I went up to state and actually won state, so I'm a state champion, hoping to do that again this year. Generally, literary is something I look forward to every single year. There's so much practice and effort that goes into it. All my friends who saw me at the competition can contest to my 3-inch large binder. That's probably this. I don't know how to show you. It's so large. All with papers that I've had to vent and print out and prepare for the competition. You know, it's stressful. There's a lot of work and preparation that goes into it. I know for my competition, there's all this background with stuff we have to do, and I know for our music competitors, the amount of practice and effort they put into it is ginormous.
So in dramatic interpretation, basically I had to memorize a monologue where it was no less than 5 minutes and no more than 10 minutes, and basically I performed the scene where I played up to 3 different characters at once. It was a scene that I think had a lot of emotion in it, and I'm very glad that the judges got to see that.
Congrats to all of you guys.
Time for a break now, but now hang with us for sports.
We'll be showcasing a no-hitter from one of Generals and our own tennis facing their toughest test of the season.
Those stories plus entertainment head your way next.
I better go check the lost and found.
Welcome into sports, everyone. Owen here.
Yep, and B. Ford here. And Owen, what a game by Coach Stinger's baseball bunch on Saturday down in the flat.
Yep, everything finally came together, hitting, pitching, and defense.
Sure did, and the pitching really tore it up with J.C. Armour throwing a no-hitter.
Yes, he was definitely on. Here's the game recap.
Well, first of all, it starts on the mound, like I've said in the past. JC went out there and threw a lot of strikes and got us going. Actually threw a no-hitter that game. I did really well. Threw the ball hard, mixed in some off-speed, but definitely was able to control the zone.
Feels great. I've done it a few times in the summer, but this one in school means a little more.
Well, Brady did really well. He had, I think he went 2 for 2 with 2 doubles, with a couple RBIs. Owen had, he was 2 for 2 with a couple RBIs as well, I believe. Max got in on the fun, had a hard ground ball that made it to the fence. I think he had 3 RBIs with a double on that. So it was really an all. I think everybody in the lineup got on the bases.
We played pretty good. Our infield worked, and our outfield caught some fly balls. Brady Chandler had 2 doubles. Owen Carson's went 2 for 2. And we had some guys step in when we got up a good time. And Sam Coleman, he had a good hit. Ty had a good hit. And, we played all around pretty good.
Well, we start region play tomorrow against Southeast, and so today at practice we've really got a lot of work of just knowing the little things, paying attention to the little details, handling pickoffs, handling rundowns, things that we've started covering at the beginning that some of the guys have not been able to cover with us just yet.
Congrats, guys, and good luck later today against Southeast.
On to tennis now. Our boys and girls teams are fresh off big wins last week.
Sure are, but this week the competition picks up in a big kind of way.
And it started last night as our netters hosted Region Power's Central Carrollton to the Taj.
Could our squads pull up an upset?
It was a beautiful Monday afternoon for tennis here at the Taj as our boys and girls team squared off against the Lions of Central Carrollton.
Number 2 singles, we have John Keith and Central's Cade Thomas.
And we'll start out our recap on the boys' side. Central has been a power in Region 7 4A since joining the region several years ago. We'll pick up the match at the number 1 singles line with Kevin Yang of Heritage taking on all-region player Ian Jimenez of Central Carrollton, and this match would go back and forth all day. Jimenez took charge early, winning the first set 6-0, but this one was far from over as Yang powered his way to a second set win, putting this one in a third set tiebreaker. As Yang and Jimenez went to a third set, we'll shift over to Court 2 where John Keith was taking on Cade Thomas. Keith would use his precision passing shots and a tough mental game to claim the first set, and then he would battle back from a 5-1 deficit to win set 2 7-5, and the Generals would take a 1-0 lead in this big match. So with Heritage leading 1-0 and another match tied at 1 set apiece, we'll shift our attention to the number 3 singles line where the Generals had Cade Green taking on senior Charles Kuntz for Central Carrollton. Cade would jump out to a 2-0 lead early and a 4-3 first set lead, but Kuntz proved to be too tough, winning the first set 6-4 and then taking the second one 6-0 to square this baby up at 1 match apiece. Now let's get back to number 1 singles where Yang and Jimenez were in that 3-set tiebreaker, and Jimenez proved to be a little too tough for Yang in that tiebreaker, winning the tiebreaker 10-6 and giving Central a crucial win at number 1 singles. They lead this one 2-1 heading into doubles. The Generals would need both doubles teams to win, and they got to win at number 2 doubles as Cullen Cooper and Matt Keith played really well in a straight set victory. This match is all tied at 2. But the number 1 doubles team of Central Carrollton was way too tough for McKinley Pepper and Will Farmer. They win it 6-0, 6-0 in a convincing match win, and they take the 3-2 region match win over Heritage. As for the girls' match,
up first at number 1, we have Ella Blansett and Hannah Hembry. Yeah, you can just come.
Their match was not as close. The closest match, in fact, was number 1 singles as Ella Blansett fought hard but lost in straight sets. Number 2 singles Rachel Brown and 3 singles Caitlin Hilliard also fought hard, but they lost convincingly. Doubles would go to Central Carrollton as well as they knock off Our Lady Generals 5-0.
Tough losses for both, but they'll be back in action later today down at Cedartown.
Golf now, and Coach Dotson's guys were on the course this past weekend down in Lafayette competing in the Rambler Invitational.
Sure were. First meet of the year against some really good opponents.
How'd the Generals come out? Here's Court Babin and Jackson Bim with the report.
So how was the Lafayette Invitational?
That was the first time we teed it up this year. It was super wet, pretty long round, but we got through it.
It went all right. It was kind of just slow. Conditions were awful. It was just kind of shaky.
Sam Johnson, our senior this year, he finished as low medalist with a 72, so he won in a scorecard playoff.
Yeah, one of our buddies, Sam, he won the Invitational at the tournament. He just shot the lowest out of everybody there.
We finished 4th out of 16 teams with a team total of 336.
I think we finished like top 5, so it's kind of even.
Now back to our girl trio, but this segment isn't What's Up Heritage.
Nope, it's Would You Rather. Take it away, ladies.
Would you rather go to a movie alone or a dinner alone?
I'd rather go to a movie alone.
Why?
Because it's kind of just more enjoyable for myself when I can just watch it without people distracting me.
Okay. Would you rather lose your vision or your hearing?
Hearing.
Why?
It just seems kind of sucks. Like, I'd rather see than like hear.
Okay. Would you rather be the smartest person or the most popular?
Smartest.
Why?
So that way school would be easy.
That's good. Would you rather get the good news first or the bad news first?
Good news.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like I'd want the good news. Because then. Wait, no, I want the bad news first, and then the good news can make up for the bad news.
Okay, that's good.
And with that, we'll wrap up this Tuesday edition of the 5-Star News.
We'll see you again on Friday with a brand new report.
But until then, have a great week and stay classy heritage.